What if a huge wave of mysterious enemies never attacked ancient Egypt? 3,000 years ago, strange ships filled the sea. These were the Sea Peoples, and they brought fire and fighting wherever they went. Their attacks weakened the mighty Egyptian empire. But in our story, those ships never arrive. The horizon stays clear. Egypt's golden age is never threatened by this great enemy. To see how big this is, we must remember New Kingdom Egypt. This was a time of amazing power and riches. Great rulers like Ramesses the Great led giant armies. They were a true superpower. Egypt had mountains of gold from a land called Nubia. They used this gold to build huge, beautiful temples. Their cities were the wonders of the ancient world. Their strength seemed like it would last forever. So, what happens when this great power is never broken? Instead of fighting wars, the pharaohs have endless gold. They can spend it on amazing new ideas. This is a world where peace lasts for a very long time. Imagine the smartest people in Egypt getting all the help they need. Pharaohs could build huge libraries instead of bigger forts. They could pay people to discover new things, not just to be soldiers. This unbroken peace could have started a whole new age of learning. New inventions could pop up all along the Nile River. The world's first great age of new ideas might happen here. Let's think about science. The Egyptians were already amazing doctors. They were also great star watchers, which is called astronomy. Without wars to worry about, their knowledge could grow and grow. Imagine Egyptian sky watchers making perfect maps of the stars. They could predict the weather and the seasons. Doctors could find new plants to make powerful medicines. They might even learn how the human body really works. This is so cool because our world learned a lot from ancient Greece. But what if the big ideas came from Egypt instead? The main idea in Egypt was Ma'at. This means truth, balance, and order in the world. A strong and peaceful Egypt would not just stay home. Their amazing ships already sailed the beautiful Red Sea. They might have gone even further on their journeys. This would change the map of the world forever. What if they explored down the coast of Africa? They would find new lands and meet new people. Imagine Egyptian sailors seeing amazing new animals. They would bring back stories of a bigger world. Their ships could have sailed across the big Mediterranean Sea. They might build new trading cities on far-off shores. These cities would be like little pieces of Egypt. They would spread their ideas and ways of life. And what would those new cities look like? Imagine small pyramids in the middle of European towns. Tall stone towers called obelisks would point to the sky. It would be a very different world to look at. What if people wrote with picture symbols called hieroglyphs? Our alphabet might never have been created. The stories of their gods, like Osiris and Isis, would be known everywhere. These would be the tales every child grew up hearing. Let's talk about the gods of Egypt. People prayed to Ra, the sun god, and Anubis, a guardian. This lasted for more than 3,000 years in our history. In this new world, their power would only grow. In our history, other rulers brought new beliefs. People from Greece and Rome changed things a lot. But in our what-if world, there are no conquerors. The old gods of Egypt would remain strong and powerful. Their beliefs would spread across their new trading empire. Temples to Bastet, the cat goddess, might be built in far lands. The Egyptian way of thinking about life and death would shape the world. It would be the biggest religion on earth. But here is a very tricky question. Would an Egypt without enemies have been a perfect place? Sometimes the biggest danger is not outside the walls. It can come from problems right at home. Great empires can be hurt by fighting from within. Could there have been big civil wars between powerful families? Maybe strong priests would try to take power from the pharaoh. An enemy from the inside is sometimes the hardest to beat. This strength inside Egypt would change the whole world outside. A powerful kingdom doesn't just stay home. It changes everything around it. Its power would be felt for many miles. So let's look at Egypt's neighbors. Great kingdoms like Assyria and Babylon grew strong. The powerful Persian Empire also rose. They grew because Egypt had become weak. What if Egypt had stayed super strong? These other kingdoms might have stayed small. A mighty Egypt would have stopped their growth. The map of the old world would look very different. This leads to the biggest change of all. Our world today is built on old ideas. Many of our best ideas came from Greece. Many of our laws came from Rome. The Greeks gave us ideas like voting for leaders. They taught us to ask big questions. The Romans were great builders and lawmakers. These ideas are the blocks of our world. But in this new world, Egypt is the great teacher. Our world might be built on the pharaohs' rules. We might look to their gods and their star maps. It would be a completely different way of life. So, our adventure shows us something amazing. History is not a strong, straight line. It is more like a river with many paths. One small push can change its direction forever. The story of Egypt is not just about falling. It is about being strong for a very long time. It was a great power that was finally worn down. This makes us wonder about its lost future. Imagine the Great Pyramids standing tall in this new world. They would not be just old buildings. They would be symbols of a living, lasting power, a kingdom that never truly fell. Every pyramid is a giant question mark. It is made of stone and wonder. It asks what could have been. It points to a world that was almost ours. What if Egypt's great temples never changed for thousands of years? The same gods would be honored. Priests in white clothes would do the same things every day. Their world would be a perfect, unbroken picture of the past. It would be beautiful but frozen in time. This happened because no new people brought new ideas or new gods. When enemies came, they often shared their ways of life. Without them, Egypt's beliefs stayed pure. They saw no reason to change what worked for so long. Their connection to the gods remained strong and unchallenged. This might mean other big religions never even started. Many important beliefs grew in the lands near Egypt. What if Egypt's power stopped those new ideas from spreading? The world's story of faith would be very different. The idea of one single God might never become popular. Imagine a world where many gods are still worshipped everywhere. Instead of one big book, people might have many different stories. The spiritual map of our planet would be completely new. This single change in Egypt reshapes belief for everyone. But this long, perfect peace could have a hidden cost. When things are too easy, people can stop trying new things. They stop inventing. Egypt might become a land that is stuck in its own greatness, a place that looks backward, not forward. War is terrible, but it often leads to new tools and ideas. People create stronger metals for weapons and armor. They build better ships to travel and fight. Without this push, Egypt's amazing builders might not learn new ways. Their science could stand still. Picture Egyptian life 2,000 years later. They might still be using bronze swords and wooden chariots. Their beautiful writings would still be done by hand on paper scrolls. They would be a living museum, grand but unchanging. It would be a world of old wonders. This peaceful land would be in for a huge shock. What if a new group of people finally arrived? People with iron weapons and faster ships. Egypt's golden age could end very suddenly. Their old ways would be no match for new power. If enemies never came from the outside, they might rise from within. The pharaoh was the most powerful person, but there were also many rich families and important priests. They all wanted more power for themselves. This could cause big problems. These powerful groups might start to fight each other. The country could be torn apart by people who were once friends. The greatest threat to an unbeaten Egypt could be Egypt itself. A long, sad war could break its perfect peace forever.